Hey there, guys. Eric Farrar, broker co-owner, 1850 Realty, trying out a new setup we have over here at the office. A little different format, but hopefully the audio will be a little better for you guys. So what we wanted to talk about on our honesty hour on this fine day was buyer expectations for showing, buyer showings. What we work with buyers and sellers, people who want to purchase real estate, people who want to sell real estate. And there's a lot of different facets to both sides, and they have a lot of equal outcomes, but the path's a little different. So one of the biggest things when you're working with a realtor member is, we want to work with ready, willing, and able buyers when they want to be out looking at properties. And we want to be especially mindful of that fact when we're showing owner-occupied properties. We had, as an example, on our personal property that we sold in 2018, we had a number of folks who made appointments to see the property, which meant we had to pack up our 1-year-old son, pack up our 15-year-old dog, literally herd cats into a crate, and make the house presentable to sell. We really wanted to try to get our price, and it needed to be totally tight. Everything had to be good, and we really busted our hump like a lot of our clients do, you guys out there, to make all these things happen. It's super important that that impression is made when they come to view the first time. You don't get a first chance. And we had a number of folks who, after the fact, had said, they'd either written an offer or an agent had called to say, hey, and this, if you go back to our call, honesty hour, it's one of those questions, would be, hey, would the seller take 15% less than they're asking? Because that's all my client can afford. As an owner, without my broker hat on, why did you show a property your clients can't afford in a million years when comps and everything else say it's going to sell for the price it's listed? That's not super professional. You haven't done your diligence at that point, where this house was not in a price point that would dictate a 15% haircut, cash or otherwise. With my broker hat on, if I had an agent doing that, I would reprimand them for, breaching our ethical duty to the rest of the members out there. You can't be showing folks and getting them out of the house to have someone view private property when they have no ability to make it work. That's one thing that we really pride ourselves on, is to, pre-qualify these people, not only financially, but gauge, are they really ready? Another situation came up with a listing we have right now where the folks, our clients, had relocated and they left a number of things in the property to convey to the new owners. And one of these was a fairly large gun safe that the owner, our client, had graciously had the foresight to leave unlocked. So anything that would come up, it was already in the open position. This property ended up needing a termite fumigation. And part of that is every single thing in the house needs to be open, including safes. And our understanding was it was unlocked. It was in a closet. You'd have to open up the closet to see. And our listing photos, we did take a photo of this just as a matter of fact. And the photos clearly show the handle in the open orientation. So it was a bit of a surprise when the fumigation company's out there and we get frantic emails and calls saying, hey, we cannot start this fume on time if the safe's not open. And I contact the owner, who's a couple states away. He's at work, and he's kind of frustrated, saying, well, gosh, I left the safe open. What's going on? Here's the code. So we relayed the code to the folks on the ground, and this listing's a little ways from our office. And short story long, I had to drive down there and try to get this thing open, and whoever was messing with it in our client's property had basically jammed the dial knob on the safe. It was locked up physically. You wouldn't even turn. So we had some considerable effort just to get this darn thing open so the fume could happen on time, so we could close on time. All these things, time is of the essence when you're in escrow. And I just thought to myself, who on planet Earth would have been in someone else's home messing with this safe? Why would you even touch it? It doesn't even make sense to be, it's in the closet. If I buy this property, I'll get it. That's part of the deal. It was conveying. So it was just a frustration point that cost us and our client some heartburn because some random person decided to tamper with someone else's property. And it's tragic. It's a shame that we leave our homes open with all of our personal belongings, and we trust other members of our industry to hold those as cherished as their own, and oftentimes it doesn't happen. The buyer expectations and just etiquette in general, when we sold our personal property, the real estate agent had called. I was being insulated by my representation, which is what we do. And after we had already accepted the offer, my lovely wife and co-owner went ahead and told me that the showing agent, the buyer's agent, told her that he was standing on our kitchen counter trying to find where the vent for our range was going. He was somehow convinced that our 10-year-old new construction one-owner home had some kind of vent issue. So he was trying to chase it down, going over the cabinets in our kitchen. I cannot imagine a scenario where I'm wearing a real estate agent hat that I would stand on anyone's property other than the floor. There's just no reason to be on the counter, on the furniture. I can't think of a permutation, and I've talked with other brokers, and we've kind of come to this conclusion that it's just absolutely insane that, one, someone would do that in front of their clients, and two, they would tell the listing broker that they had done so. Absolutely mind-boggling. And wearing the listing hat as the client, I was enraged by the fact that some random person was in my house that was, the pride of ownership. I've never even stood on my kitchen counter. But these are the things that can happen, and we try to insulate you guys from that as much as we can, because these things are occurring, and it's just absolutely bonkers. Let's go ahead and segue to a good second point is for buyer etiquette is reasonable expectation of viewing. So you make an appointment to view a property, and I would posit to say that any home under 3,500 square feet, a reasonable viewing time is 15, 20 minutes, maybe, half hour. We've had folks that have been in properties in our listings on the buy side who have been an hour and a half in 1,200 square feet, 5,000 foot lot. It's not a ranch. People are going through cupboards. They're going through closets. They're opening things that they shouldn't. Viewing a property is not a home inspection. You might peek one closet open. Is it a walk-in or not? Okay, it's not. Does it have built-ins? No, that's something we might want to do. You might want to pop a kitchen cabinet to get an understanding of the overall condition, but you're not going to open every drawer and every cabinet to see what contact paper's in there. That's something you can do during your home inspection and or after you take possession of the house. So, we want to encourage our clients to view the property as much as possible, but also we need to remind them of, the golden rule is do unto others as you would do unto you, and be mindful of these other people's homes. Other people, they've got their kids at school. They want to come home and make dinner. They also want to sell their house, but, they want to make an accommodation. And that's one thing that we also try to be mindful of along those lines is make sure folks have enough time. And the third and final is buyer access during escrow. So our contracts in California allow for a buyer diligence contingency, which includes disclosures, inspections, and whatnot. And our recent purchase contract has included a separate time frame for just access. So there's 2 date ranges on the RPA, and it is reasonable to want to see a property more than once. That's totally fine, depending on a number of different circumstances. But we've had some recently where, the buyers, prior to removing contingencies, have wanted to see the house 8, 9, 10 times before and after the home inspection. To do, if you want to measure things, the home inspection or one other time is great to get in there. You're excited. You want to start ordering materials. that's awesome. But you just want to be mindful that of the other party. They're also in an excited and stressed way, and they need to be able to start moving out and whatnot. So it's nice for everybody to give everyone else their space. So thanks again, guys, listening to another Honesty Hour in Real Estate. We're focusing on California residential real estate issues, and we're going to continue to put out videos as we see things out there, and we're going to bring them to you as information. As always, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. info@1850realty.com or 760-814-1850.